I can't get over that. I hate it. I really hate it. I don't like it. The more I think about it, the more I hate it. Because things are just not aligning for me.
What's not aligning? It's not the first time someone's be like, I'm going to work at a bank, I'm going to get information, and I'm going to
Maybe I'm not familiar with bank robbers. I don't know.
I'm not. I mean, but every heist movie, somebody's a janitor pretending to be the janitor, and they got the map. They know
I
the
feel like previous
tunnels.
movies have done it better, set it up better.
What's wrong with this setup? Is it such a bad setup, guys? Like, I don't understand. Like,
I think it's a bad setup.
Really?
Yeah.
This seems pretty normal.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Most Potato Podcast, the podcast where we feel no pain.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm Alvin.
I'm Jess.
We don't feel any pain today because today we're going to be talking about Novocaine, the latest movie to hit theaters that I think in the second week in a row, I think I've had a pretty good time in theaters.
Yes.
I feel like lately it's been a really dry season of movies. I just haven't felt motivated to go out to the theaters for anything.
Yeah. I don't know. They haven't had anything good. All I know is that they had that Hulk movie out. And then I feel like...
The Hulk movie.
What?
It's a Captain America movie, but yeah, I think it's basically... people were calling it Hulk Part 2.
Well, all I saw was that red Hulk in it, and
it might as well be a Hulk movie because all I saw was Hulk.
Yeah. Anyways, that's still in theaters for some reason. All we had was Mickey last week, and now Novocaine, and yes. I've had fun. Like I was just thinking to myself, like, it's been a while since going to the movie theater's been fun. It's like a one and done. I'm just like, that was a good time.
Yeah.
But I do still find myself like sitting a little bit long after credits, and I think it's because I'm like nostalgic for the good old days when they would do like the the bloopers.
Yes.
And all that stuff. And, with me currently watching the Rush Hour movies.
Yes, I'm indoctrinating her for the first time with Rush Hour movies. It's been fun.
Yeah, I'm like, where is that? Like, we can't do that anymore? Probably not, because everything's AI, and AI shouldn't have bloopers, so...
Well, I mean, we got something similar here. This is a pretty funny movie with some good action.
Yeah.
I'm always down for a movie that has comedy and good action, something that's light and breezy that you don't really have to think about too much.
That's true.
And I think for the most part, Novocaine is that movie. It delivers like on all the fun, all the action, maybe a little too much action for some of us. I know you cringed at one point with the violence.
I was hiding behind my hands. I couldn't handle that. It just kept like... At the very end, it's just like, we're just going to go over the top and we're going to really just make people like sick. And I was just like,
yeah,
let's not do
yeah,
that.
This movie gets surprisingly brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically we're following this guy that doesn't feel any pain. And after a bank robbery, he has to go save his love of his life.
Well,
even
does
though
he have to?
He doesn't
he have to.
But he wants to. He wants to go save his basically girlfriend, which... I guess, but
he
that's
wants to go save his one night stand.
I wouldn't say it's a one night stand. It was a nice date. It was a really good date that he liked.
A one night stand because she was planning on standing him up. So continue.
Yes. And we basically are just following this normal ass guy that he doesn't have any fighting experience whatsoever, yet he makes it through the day chasing after these bank robbers to try to get his girlfriend back. Mm-hmm. And I had to kind of suspend my disbelief in that because it's like, okay, so we're following a guy with a sort of basically a disability where he can't feel pain. And now we have to see him basically kind of play John Wick, like an accidental John Wick.
Yes.
So it's like a level of like craziness that you just have to let go and just like have fun with the ride, which I think for the most part, I had a good time with it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the main selling point in this movie has to be the chemistry between Jack Quaid's character and Amber Midthunder's character, the two main characters basically who are a couple. Because if you don't care about the romance between the characters, you're not really that invested in the movie. So I'm just glad that I got into it because I have a really hard time buying into romances in a lot of movies. For some reason, they just don't know how to write romances in a way that makes you care.
And then, yeah, I don't know what it is. There's just, like, no chemistry sometimes. Like, it's the weirdest thing.
Most times, really.
I'm like,
I don't believe this. Put in two hot people in a room and then that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you have to write them in a way that's, like, believable and likable. Like, that's the main thing. You gotta like these people that are interacting with each other.
Well, I didn't like her.
We'll get into dislikes soon. Because I got beef with her, too. It's just a mild spoiler.
Yeah.
But... I did like the inciting incident where they do go on a date with each other. I felt like the chemistry was really powerful there. And I think it has to do with partly the writing, but also the two actors. So they did a really good job making me buy into their romance, even though they're just going on one single date and then suddenly all this crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
I was on board for it, and all the actors did an amazing job. I'm just happy to see Amber Midthunder back in another movie because we really liked her in Prey. She was really good in that.
That was her.
Oh, you didn't even recognize her?
That was her.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that was a good movie. The dog survived. So, yeah, I liked it.
So that's a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I think the performances they were really good. And especially, like you said, it's just like kind of a one and done movie where it's like action and it's like a good time. But I got a lot from everyone's performances, and I think that's like really good because I don't want to have those moments where I'm like, oh, the movie was good for the most part, but you know, this person was shitty. These characters didn't make sense. Why did we have that whole scene? I didn't feel like that at all. I was having like a good time.
I feel like for the most part, the action is well choreographed and well filmed. I don't think there was many moments where I felt like I couldn't see what was going on.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, because it's not like the most like extravagant choreography that you'd see like in a John Wick or a Jackie Chan movie, but it's still like full of energy. It's full of comedic moments. There's like physical humor.
Because like you said, Jack Quaid's character Nathan, he's just like a regular guy.
Yeah.
And like the only reason why he doesn't have much fair like fighting is because he can't feel anything. There's still the fair because he's just like he can die. Like he's not a superhero. He can actually die. He just can't feel anything. So the action scenes were funny because he's so clumsy. He's like, I don't want to do this. Like he shoots a guy in the head and he's like, hey man, you're okay. Are you okay? I'm just like, dude, you just killed somebody. But like, why are you asking if he's okay? Yeah. But yeah, I think it was definitely like the action scenes were really good with a clumsy character and then like guys that actually have like fighting experience.
Yeah, exactly. And that takes me to like the next thing that I like, which is the setup of the Nathan character himself. You mentioned that he's like this very bumbling, awkward guy. I like that he's like that without being annoying because they make him to be a really likable dude.
Yeah.
He's like extremely nice. Unfortunately, we missed like maybe like 5 minutes of the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because we tried to miss the trailers. And then AMC did the awesome thing where they, instead of doing 30 minutes of trailers, they did maybe like 15.
Yeah, it was like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, so fuck you very much, AMC, for doing that.
Yes.
So they got us again. Because the same thing happened to us with Sonic 2.
I know.
But we saw part of the beginning where he was basically giving his client a huge break to like give him some time so that his business doesn't close down before the Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
And that whole setup is just beautiful because I think it sets him up to be this really nice, friendly guy, and it shows throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's not just that one single moment. And you just root for the guy. Like, he's just like this everyday regular dude just trying to do his job, trying to have a regular life.
Yeah.
Dealing with this really rare, dangerous condition. I think he called it SEPA. And like you mentioned, he even checks in on like the guys that he beats up during fights. Like, that's just so funny. So, like, the guy's never boring.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing to see a main character who's not like this edgy, hardened badass. It's really fun to see, like, there are other kinds of characters that can still do badass things, even though it's kind of a miracle that he could even stand toe-to-toe with one of these, like, murderous bank robbers.
Yeah.
I really liked that about him. And I liked that they took the time to explain his condition. Like, it was exposition, but it was, like, really needed, because I don't think a lot of people know about this condition.
Yeah.
I didn't honestly know about it until the trailer of this movie came up, which I don't know how people with that condition will take this movie, because I feel like it doesn't take it seriously enough. Especially with the Sherry character played by Amber Midthunder. She sees it as like a superpower.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
and he was just like, no, not really. And when he was like trying not to eat the pie. And
oh my God,
like, I didn't like that.
let's get into this. Because so you were teasing at earlier that there was somebody that you don't like, which is her.
Yeah.
And I'm in agreement with you there. The girlfriend, the love interest, I'm not a huge fan of her. After just like the first date with the cherry pie.
Yeah.
This woman is trying to force her pie into this man's mouth. Knowing damn well he keeps explaining, I can't eat solid things because if I accidentally bite my tongue off, I will bleed out to death.
Yeah. And I was just like, it made me nervous because I was like, Nathan's a really nice guy, and I wouldn't want him to bite his tongue off and die.
And I thought that was going to happen.
I did. I really did. Or I thought he was going to like nick his tongue or something like that. But I don't know, that scene, it was too pushy for me. I really didn't like it. Because, he did such a good job of like acting like uncomfortable and just like, like, no means no, lady. And she's just like, no, just have a bite. I was happy that he was able to eat it and enjoy it. He's like, this is pie. And I just thought that was so funny. But I also was just like, she shouldn't have been that pushy because he literally has a condition, and I think he's 30, and he said to her that he was only expected to like make it to 25 or something like that.
Yeah. Which that's scary.
I know, right? Like he has like a timer for when he has to go pee, or his like bladder will like explode because he can't even feel that, which I guess would be painful. Like when your bladder's full, that's painful. Yeah. So he can't even feel that. So he has like a whole routine, and like everything has to do, like he literally has to just like drink his food basically. He doesn't eat anything solid. So for her to be so pushy after he like explained to her, like,
I'd be like, all right, that fair, dude, just forget the pie.
Yeah.
But she was really pushy, like almost like she was offended.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you did not make the pie.
Yeah, I didn't like that. And then from that moment I was just like, I gotta watch out for her.
So you were sus from her from that point.
From that point. Yeah. I don't know, or maybe it could have been a little bit before that. And then there was like a little bit of spoiler, in a sense, your fault, kind of. But no, I just heard like a lot of people saying like how it was disappointing, her character at the end of the movie. They're like, poor guy, sort of thing. So I was hearing that sort of thing when people were talking about Novocaine who have seen it already.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, I was just like, well, what did she do? Or what does that mean? I thought like by the end of the movie, she's going to be like, yeah, I'm not really that interested. It was a one night stand. That's what I thought. So like I was already like suspicious of her from the get go. But when she tapped him on the shoulder while he was pouring coffee and he like burned the shit out of his hand, like that was like that was how the whole interaction started.
That was a nice meet cute.
And yeah, I was just like, why would you just like spook somebody while they're pouring coffee? I don't know. But I don't like her.
Well, I don't think that part was intentional. I think that was all accidental.
It was accidental, but I'm just like, you just came up creeping. Like, you need a bell. Like, you need a bell or something like that. And then he just spills it. And then she's like, I'm so sorry. She's like, do you want to go get coffee or whatever and stuff? And I was just like, I don't like you. Red flag. Something's wrong. I don't know.
But going back to, like, things that I personally didn't like with this movie, I feel like it went on way too fucking long.
Yeah.
When I saw the hour and 50-minute runtime, I was like...
That was pleasantly surprising for me. I was just like, oh, it's not 2 hours.
I don't feel a difference between that and another 10 minutes, honestly. It was like 2 hours and 10 minutes to me.
Yeah, no, there was a part, I think it was the start of the third act maybe, or I don't know if where I was just like, okay, it's over.
It's wrapping up.
And then they were just like, but wait, there's more. And I was just like, okay, I guess. And yeah, I guess we didn't need it. There was like a point in the at the end where I was like really expecting, like I thought it was done.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. But I didn't feel like, I didn't like hate it, but I just noticed it.
Yeah. It was very noticeable for me. I was starting to feel it. I was like, all right, this is getting way too extreme. I feel like it could have ended at this point.
Yeah.
And it would have been a little bit more interesting. I feel like there was a reason for them pushing it for another 10, 15 minutes. And I think that goes into like spoiler section. Another thing I wasn't really into that much. I don't know how you felt because we didn't talk about these characters. The two detectives that were chasing Nathan, the man and the woman, they seem like this like odd couple kind of pairing.
Yeah.
One of them's serious. One of them's like just like so over his job. And I don't know. They had interesting personalities, like just enough interesting personalities, which I appreciated. But then there comes a point where like something serious happens to one of the detectives and you're made to feel like you're supposed to care. And I was just like, I don't know these people. They only get like maybe 10 minutes total of screen time.
Yeah, I feel like the way that the one that died was acting was to like set him up to die.
Yeah.
And then the other detective, the woman, they wrote her to be like a mother with a daughter and like, that emotional part of her that gives somebody a chance even when she really shouldn't. Because
it felt like a very strong cliche.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
It really was. And I was just like, I mean, it would have sucked if she died, but she didn't. And I was just like, okay, it was just a total cliche of writing for how they had these two characters. And it was a reason for them to extend the movie like 15 more minutes or something like that. 15, 20 more minutes. But I didn't like hate them, but I was just like, okay, I see what you guys are.
So I don't know. Want to get into like the big major spoiler now?
Sherry ain't shit. She's in on it. Yeah. No, let's totally get into it.
Yeah. So like just mentioned, we find out the love interest Sherry was in on the bank robbery the whole time, which you said that you expected that from basically the beginning. I honestly didn't see that coming, and maybe I just was too into the action and comedy for me to see anything. But
You're too nice, like Nathan.
I didn't see anything that really indicated like, oh, is she part of this robbery?
Nah, when she was talking about her like upbringing and how she was like in foster care, and she was saying like, oh yeah, I jumped around, and then when I was 12 I got adopted, and then
left at 18.
And she's like, I left at 18 because she was like, oh yeah, it was a toxic, like it was.
Yeah, it wasn't like a healthy family.
It wasn't a healthy family type of thing. And I was just like, I was like, that's interesting. So like, you just left at 18, didn't look back. You don't really have anyone. And I think it was her not having any family connection, or at least that's how she made it sound. I was just like, that's interesting. Their conversations about, I think she had like therapy group or whatever, and this is not to say there's anything wrong with people going to therapy. I need therapy. He needs therapy, but yes. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but the way they set her up, she just seemed very isolated as a character, and I wanted to get to know her more, but I also felt like Nathan's character is just like you said, he's so normal, nice guy, like he seems like a shut-in basically.
Well, he is. Yeah,
he just plays his video games. Yeah, and he has an online friend that he hasn't met, but he's known for a while. And then like this girl just comes in, and then she's saying all these things, and I just like instantly was like suspicious of her. I mean, if it wasn't the pie thing, it was going to be this scene after. And then, I mean, they had a nice little date when she invited him to they
went on two nice dates. The pie one, and then the art gallery.
The art gallery, yeah, where she had her art up. I guess it was hers.
Yes.
That's what she said. But yeah, from that, I was a little suspicious of her. And then when we got to the scene with the bank robbery, the way that she was being, I was like, what if she's in on it? And then they took her as a hostage. I was just like, she has to be on it. And the trailer also, when I saw her in the trailer, my thought too was she's in on it, but I didn't know enough about the movie or like pay attention enough. And then when everything started falling together, I was just like, she's in on it.
Yeah, none of that occurred to me.
Really?
None of that felt like evidence to me for me to be like suspicious of her. I'm just like, oh man, she's someone that's down in her luck. She doesn't have anybody around, so she's a kindred spirit to this lonely guy here. So that's interesting that you found that, like, connecting the dots there. I felt like all of that stuff was just like unassuming. I thought they were just fleshing out her character so that she could be like an actual character and not just like a prop or anything.
Nah, I'm suspicious of everybody. Everybody.
But yeah, I did not get anything based off of her giving her background or anything, especially because she has like such a normal life. She's working at a bank. She's doing her artwork and actually sells her commissions. So I was just like, I didn't really see her need or desire to have to rob her own place. And then even later in the third act, when you see that her and her brother, like when she talks about her brothers, one of her brothers is the lead bank robber. I didn't see, again, any reason why she would want to be part of this. She seems to know her brother so well that she wouldn't want to be a part of his schemes.
But she's been doing it for years. She has like a whole history of helping him with stuff.
Yeah,
knowing that he's killed people like in these things.
I don't get that sense, like based on her behavior and personality. Like just because like they said it, the way that she acts and the way that she's written doesn't seem like she's like this experienced criminal. I feel like those are just a disconnect between the explanation and how the character like acts and behaves.
Well, I mean, he could be the one that's in control, the brother. I think his name was Simon.
Yeah.
I think he is like in control because you see how many times he puts a gun to her head and he's just like, I'll do it. When they were robbing the bank, it's him and then two other guys who are brothers, and he like slaps the shit out of her like behind the counter. So I was just like, damn, there's no way. I was like, maybe she is a hostage. But I was just like, nah, it could just all be a scene. And later on, he's just like, are you mad because I hit you? And like, he's just nuts. But yeah, I just feel like she's probably not in control of it. She's just going along with it. She gets a cut of money, maybe. They bounce around like it's nothing to her. And this seems like a long plan because they set her up to get the numbers for the safe. And she didn't get it right away. So that's why they had to ask the manager who they kill. And he just kills the guy like it's nothing. And she looks surprised, more like, why did you kill somebody? You didn't have to do that. And like she has that conversation like, you didn't have to do that. He was really nice. And he's just like, whatever, you didn't get the numbers. And then he would have killed Nathan as well too, if he didn't get the numbers. So that was her whole job. She was planted there in this job. I just feel like this is something that she's done before. Like she's always been a part of it, whether she was just supposed to get information to get them in somewhere. I think like if they would have planned it better, then obviously she would have just packed up and she would have left and not looked back. And whether she had feelings for him or not, it looked like that was already what she was going to do. So when she realized like, oh shit, some random guy in a suit is, going around and chasing after her, she's like, oh shit, is that Nathan? And I guess that kind of changes like how she's feeling too, like in the moment during that whole time. But when she wasn't tied up and she was just sitting there at the place they ran off to, I was just like, she's clearly in on it. Clearly in on it.
I still can't get over her being part of this the whole time. It just seems stupid to me. I can't get over that. I'd hate it. I really hate it. I don't like it. The more I think about it, the more I hate it. Because things are just not aligning for me.
What's not aligning? It's not the first time someone's be like, I'm going to work at a bank, I'm going to get information, and I'm going to
Maybe I'm not familiar with bank robbers. I don't know.
I'm not. I mean, but every heist movie, somebody's a janitor pretending to be the janitor, and they got the map.
I guess. I feel like previous movies have done it better, set it up better.
What's wrong with this setup? Is it such a bad setup, guys? Like, I don't understand. Like,
I think it's a bad setup.
Really?
Yeah.
This seems pretty normal. I mean, in the movie, the cops or the detectives, they thought that Nathan was the one that was part of it because he gave them the code to the safe, like, and then he takes off and they can't find him, so they instantly think it's him. Why not think somebody that works there is a part of it? Because they would question everybody that works there, regardless if she was part of it or not. They would question people. How did they know to come at this time, this date, all this information, yada, yada, yada. How did they know who the manager was? How did they know who the assistant manager was? Because they knew he was the assistant manager, so clearly they were getting information for a while.
Yeah. I'm going to have to watch this movie again to see if I miss anything. But
I don't know. This is like a puzzle for you or something like that. You got to get the pieces, like why they know who the manager is. Why they know who Nathan's the assistant.
I don't know. I feel like there was poor setup with her character, but maybe I have to rewatch it to see if I've missed anything. Like, that's insane. I don't know. I thought she was stupid for doing that. Like, you got like it's not the best job ever, but you've got like this job here. You've got your art going on, and then you just have your psycho brother that drags you along to these plans.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. At that point, I was not rooting for the relationship anymore. But then we get to a point where Nate finally discovers the whole ploy, where he learns that Sherry's part of it. And I wish that there was time for that to breathe, because I mentioned earlier, I think there's a reason why they added an extended 10-15-minute section to the third act. And it's just so that he doesn't have any time to react to the truth that Sherry was in on the robbery, which put him at risk in the beginning. And then his dumbass decided to chase after her, sacrifice so much of himself just to find out that Sherry's a part of it the whole time.
Yeah.
And I wanted that moment where he just got angry with her. Like, I just wanted a moment where they could like just confront that issue. And it just never happens, because then Simon comes back from the dead and then shoots the detectives.
Yeah.
And then a whole nother chase ensues.
I feel like they did that so that way they can like halfway redeem her, because like she still goes to prison anyway. But I think it was just so they can like try to redeem her. The detective that's all like doom and gloom, he's just like, yeah, I'll stay and wait for the ambulance. He gets shot in the neck or something like that. The other detective, she gets shot in the stomach, and then Simon gets away in the ambulance that already has Nathan packed up, because they already packed him up. Simon shoots up everybody. Sherry, she doesn't get hit or anything like that. She's going to have to be the one that goes after Simon, that saves Nathan. And then she's like, she's not really a bad person, even though she helped with a bank robbery and multiple people are dead.
Yeah.
She's not really a bad person because she wants to help the detective and go after,
As long as you save a cop, you'll be redeemed.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, they wrote it that way. And I mean, and the cops can write it that way if they want to. Because when this whole thing's concluded, she doesn't get as much time as I feel like she definitely would in the real world. And Nathan, he's like, oh yeah, it's just like, oh, house arrest for like 6 months. That's fine because he's recovering from all the shit he's been through. And then probation for 5 years. He's a chill guy. He just, he just sits at home playing video games. And I mean, well, now he's going to have, he's going to have a girlfriend as soon as she gets out. Mm-hmm. So this is like nothing for him. And she literally said, she's like, yeah, you're a white male and, you had a good person to vouch for you and stuff. So you're not going to slap on the wrist, that's basically what it comes down to. But yeah, this whole extra scene was so they can like redeem Sherry a little bit, so that way they can still have her and Nathan like
be together and be happy
in the end and be happy.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't buy into it. I really wanted that confrontation. I was just like, nope, I'm not buying into it.
I wanted him at least to get like upset and be hurt, but he didn't even have time to like be like, what the fuck, Sherry? Like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. Because she's always been kind of like shitty, even from like the beginning of like forcing him to eat the pie. I'm just like, and then fetishizing him as a superhero. I'm like, no, this dude literally could die at any moment for any stupid little thing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's like too many problematic things about her. And then on top of that, she's like the main problem that sets up this whole like chase to begin with. I was just like, I can't. And it sucks because I was buying into the relationship in the beginning, but then the red flag started coming in and then the reveal came and I'm just like, listen, just let Nathan be alive and then that's my ending. He can find many other girlfriends. That's fine. It doesn't have to be this one. She sounds like a huge problem.
Well, I don't think she's like the main problem. She's like a big part of the problem, but
yeah, no, Simon's like the main issue.
I think I saw a lot of it coming. I was piecing it together, so I was just like, okay, but I do feel like there should have been like some sort of conversation with them once he finds out that she's a part of it.
When Nathan visits her in prison, I was just like, yeah, I'm still not buying this. Man, if that was me, if you and I were on that first date and I found out you were a criminal, I don't think I'd be chasing after you. Like,
you don't want my cherry pie?
No.
Apple pie?
It might kill me.
Pecan? Sweet potato.
Apple pie.
Apple pie.
Yeah. And pumpkin pie is really good.
I mean, I probably wouldn't force you to like eat it. I'd be like, lick this apple pie. You know? Like, he could lick an apple pie.
Oh my god. Okay. I don't know. How did you feel about them still being together? Did that bother you, or were you just like, nah, I'm fine with it?
I'm fine with it. It just like, yeah. I mean, if that's his choice, I respect Nathan's choice. He's a good boy, so he knows what's right for him. And it's Sherry and her pie. Sherry pie. Get it? Because Sherry.
Give us your score.
Okay. So I think I would give this a loaded potato.
Oh, wow. That much.
Yeah, I had a really good time.
Nice.
And I just, like I said, it's been a while since like going to like the theaters. It's like just good movies where I'm like entertained and enjoying it. Yeah, I think if we would have chopped off like that last 15-20 minutes and just ended at a certain point, I probably would have gave it a higher score because it's a straightforward movie.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a strong baked potato. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun, but again, that ending just took it down for me a notch because I just wasn't supporting the whole love interest thing anymore.
Alvin's hurt, y'all. He's hurt.
I guess I'm hurt for Jack Quaid's character. I don't know. It's a really good date night movie. I think that would be like a really good couples movie, but you don't have to be partnered with somebody to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely worth a watch in theater. Strong baked potato for me. Loaded potato from you.
Yes.
So that means you must go watch this movie. Mm-hmm. Please definitely go watch this. We need more movies that are original, that are fun. I feel like we're kind of like begging for scraps at this point. So I want that, and I don't want $300 million shitty Netflix movies that don't entertain you.
Yes.
So
sorry, Millie Bobby.
Did you watch this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you think I'm right that they shouldn't be together? Did you think Jess is right that they should be together and it's fine?
Yes. Pies for everyone.
Pies for everyone?
Yes.
Let us know all your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Send this to your date. Send this to your bank robbers, your bosses, your detectives, all that good stuff, because it helps us in the algorithm. And we greatly appreciate that. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.